Hello everybody, how are you? Just got to push the button. Oops. There we go. Hi there. Welcome. My name is Joshua, and it's a pleasure to be with you here this evening. I'll slow down here. Tonight we're going to be talking about dates. We all need a date once in a while, so we're going to make them. Beautiful, nutritious, delicious dates. It's one of nature's superfoods. Used to be called the king of fruits back in Egyptian times. So really, really powerful. A lot of fiber, a lot of just good stuff. And then we're also going to have sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. So we have sunflower seeds, tons of nutrition, vitamin E especially. Pumpkin seeds, really good for, has a lot of zinc and many other, polyphenols. All three of these ingredients, the primary ingredients, are chock full of goodies. So yeah, you can do more research on them. But overall, this treat is pretty simple. Just takes a little bit of time in the food processor.
What's it called?
And these are called delightful date treats.
Date bites.
Date bites, excuse me. Bites, not
date
treats.
Bites
They are
date
treats. Date bites for date night, let me have said. So that's awesome. And then we're going to use a few of the spices like cacao, cardamon, some ashwagandha. If you're into ashwagandha, it just helps with calming the nervous system and stress. Cinnamon, and a little bit of maca powder if you're good with all those. And you can always add other, spices, maybe nutmeg or something like that. But these are going to be the primary friends for tonight to play with. And also we'll have a little bit of I forget the fine coconut. I think it's called desiccated or something like that. Desiccated coconut for the inside, and then also for the coating on the outside. We'll roll these little date bites into little ball shapes and coat them with some coconut. So first of all, I wanted to let you know that it's important to soak, because this is kind of one of those things where it's a raw food, so you need to soak. And again, we've talked about this before, but you want to hydrate, get the energy, the seeds especially. We have the sunflower seeds and the pumpkin seeds I put in water. They've been soaking for about 2.5 hours. You want to soak around 2 to 4 hours, depending. You'll start to see them expand and maybe open a little bit. But it just gives them a little bit more hydration, especially when we're eating them, so that they move through the system with a lot more ease and grace. And then also with the dates as well. The cool thing about the dates, when you soak the dates in there, is that I found that if you kind of give it a little shake, and then again, these dates have been soaking for about 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours. This water is really, it's like a sugar water. So if you use like a sweetener for your coffee or your tea or whatever, you can use that I put it in the fridge, put a lid on it, put a cap on it, put it in the fridge. And you can also, we'll use a little bit back into this if we need to. If the product gets a little too dry, we can add a little bit of this date water back into it to give it a little bit more sugar, so we don't dilute the sugar. I'm going to drain a little bit more water just in case. You want to start with a very little amount of water. You can always add to it. Same thing with the sunflower seeds. I have, at this point, have not saved my sunflower seed and pumpkin seed water. I should look into that more, but I'm just going to drain these out here. You can see like lipids and the good vitamin E's and stuff floating on the surface of the water. So anyway, just a little strain of most of that water out of there as well. Excuse me. So these are all prepped and ready to go. Oh, that's the one I want to talk about first. First and foremost, before you soak your dates, I've had about out of every 50 dates, we get the dates with the seeds inside, because it's just less processed and less handled by humans or machine. So what I like to do, you open the date up in half and then check the seed and the inside, because I've had, again, about 1 out of every 50 or so dates has a little bit of black mold, some rot going inside, some water got in the product and the seed and everything. It's just nature decomposing, right? So it's no big deal, but you don't want to consume that product. So you always want to check your date before you eat them. I learned that the hard way. So anyway, just go ahead and, these are going to be thrown in there, but we've already done that. So that was just my little teaching example. All right. Now, we'll take our dates and slide our food processor over here. You can do it in a Vitamix, a food processor. I have done this where I've chopped the dates by hand and the nuts all by hand, and it's okay. It's a little bit more chunky. So if you want like a chunkier, like a crunchy kind of delightful bite, you can do this all by hand as well. It just takes a little bit more time, obviously, but it's obviously how it can be done. So you can do, I'm doing about a half a recipe. I've made this earlier in the week, and I did about 2 cups of soaked dates and put it in the food processor. And then, but today I'm doing about half of that. So I'm putting about half of, 1 cup of the dates. And then I'm going to do, again, this is a mix of this pumpkin seed and the sunflower seeds. So that's about 3 tablespoons of 3 heaping tablespoons of the nuts in there.
Why pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds?
I mentioned earlier we have vitamin E's, and we have zinc and all these good things. Actually, pumpkin seeds, just for men's health, is really good to help with prostate and gonad health as well. So it's good to consume pumpkin seeds on a semi-regular basis, especially if you're a gentleman in their aging years. And also squeeze your rectum. It's also a good technique. That's a side bonus to the food night. But squeezing your rectum is a good technique to help for men and women to help that area stay strong. That's a whole other holistic health tip. We'll get back into the food now. All right. So I'm going to blend this up first with just the seeds and the dates, and then I'll add and mix in by hand the coconut because it gets a little bit too ground up in there. So this might get a little loud, and then again I can add my water to it. So just going to pulse it a little bit in the beginning, little pulse, and kind of let it go for a little bit. I'll put my hand over the lid so it doesn't get so. And again, this is a half a batch, so with a full batch of 2 cups, it'll get work a little bit faster because of the volume of the product and the food processor. If you have a smaller food processor than this, definitely use that if you're doing a little 1 cup batch. But it still works. You might have to stop it every once in a while, like I'm going to do right now. And so you want to just make sure you can check it, scrape the edges, get it back worked in the middle. This is kind of getting a little chunkier, or still chunky I should say. So I'm going to let it run just a little bit longer. Maybe pulse it in the beginning just so I don't get all the splatter that I've just experienced. Cool. Any questions out there? How's everybody doing? Good? You can type it in or talk or whatever you like to do.
They're smiling.
Okay, smiling. Smiling's good. We like smiling. All right. One more little round of this. Again, some pulsing. And it looks like it's hydrated enough, so I don't think I'm going to need to add the water to this round, but I will save that water, that date water. Yeah, pulsing helps a lot. With the 2 cup batch, I was able to just kind of let it run on its own and watch it, a little babysit it, but we're doing a little more than babysitting here. Cool. Looking good. Cool. Good. So let that, check this out here. See what this progress. Oh, that looks good. Great. So, you know, it's not like peanut butter, right? That's not our goal. We want it kind of thick still a little bit and chunky to kind of give it that grab when you make the little ball shapes. So I'll just kind of work the good stuff out of here. Make sure I clean my blade. Set that over in the sink. Good. And then scrape this out into a nice bowl. Good. Thank you, Lemia, for the little tilt here. Lemia is on the audio, video, back scenes. Thank you, Lemia. We just celebrated our 6th year wedding anniversary on the 11th of this month of November. So we thank you. We still going strong. It's a blessing every day.
Looks like we made it.
Just have to mention any sort of theme and we get a song out of them. Good. All right. Good. So that's pretty well scraped. So this kind of looks, it's the texture, you know, it looks kind of like a protein bar or health bar kind of. That's the idea. We want to have our little trail mix snacks. So these are good to, excuse me, you can freeze these overnight if you're going for a hike and then take them with you for the next day. You know, we put them in the fridge also after we're done here. We'll put them in the fridge. Now I'll add this is about 3/4 of a cup to start with. I'm going to put about, maybe almost all that, save a little quarter cup. And then I'll just kind of mix this in, get that kind of going in the beginning. And then, good, that's kind of mixed in there. And then I'll take my premix of the cacao, the cardamon, the ashwagandha, the cinnamon, and the maca powder. I did about 2 tablespoons of the chocolate cacao. I did about maybe a teaspoon, maybe smaller, of the cardamon, teaspoon smaller than the ashwagandha, teaspoon of cinnamon, and about a tablespoon of the maca. I like maca and maca in my flavor, so we like that in maca.
And?
Not matcha. No maca.
Maca and what? You
and
said maca
cacao.
and maca.
Oh, excuse me, maca and cacao.
There you go.
Did I say cacao? Anyway, that's why she's here. She keeps me honest. So I'll take about, for the one earlier I did this it was about 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to start with maybe a tablespoon and we'll go from there. Good. Maybe a little bit more. Let's just do the rest. Why waste it? Why waste it?
I like it chocolatey.
Yeah, well, and we can always add chocolate. You can always taste it right afterwards. So get this little, it's like a little, it's like it's snowed in our little bowl here. Little white coconut flakes everywhere. This is what snow looks like in California anyway, in Southern California.
Gets you in the holiday spirit.
Yeah, right? Embrace the seasons of change. If you're watching us in the Southern Hemisphere, enjoy that beautiful summer. Well, we love that. Good. So it's smelling pretty good, smelling pretty chocolatey. And the texture, you want to be able to like not have it like fly off of your spoon. It's kind of sticky, right? So that's good. You want it to be a sticky texture so that when you make the shape, you can then roll it easily. And again, then we'll put it into the fridge and let it harden up even more. Good. Just kind of get all this cleaned off. Good. Cool. So that's kind of not much different looking, right? But just the little white coconuts are now on the inside. So good. And then we'll take, again, you can do them by if you want to be fancy about it, you can take the tablespoon, do a heaping tablespoon per ball if you're doing like, for like a holiday platter treat or something like that. You just want to make a nice little ball, whatever size it turns out to be. Make a little shape. You can do little pancakes, whatever you want to do. But you
get to decide how big your balls are.
Thank you, Lemia. So I'm gonna go away from the ball tradition right now. I'm gonna go a little more of a flat pancake.
A disc.
A disc. But that disc can also then be made back into a ball, right? So what I like to do after I roll the little ball here into the coconut, I just kind of work around again, kind of get the coconut to coat into the outside. And then that is the finished product. So,
da, 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 da.
Da, 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 beautiful little coconut covered and infused little date ball. Cool. Good. And so good. So then we'll, you can do these, this will make with about a tablespoon, maybe about 10 of these perhaps. And again, you can add the different flavors. You can do more cacao, you can do less cacao. If you want to do matcha, the green matcha is really popular. If you want to do like a little energy, kind of a booster in the day. Cacao is obviously a good energy booster as well. But if you want to do the maca, the matcha with maca, that's also a nice little edible treat. Yeah, very simple as far as the prep goes, and it just takes a little bit of time to let all the products soak and come together.
It's fun to make as a family, also seasonal.
Yeah,
it's
seasonal.
Easy.
So on the inside, we've got the sesame seeds, the sunflower seeds, the pumpkin seeds, and the dates. That's the main cushion, or the main ingredients of this. And then we added the coconuts, and then we finished it with the coconut on the outside. So again, this makes up real nicely. And then we did a little batch earlier today as well. So, So this has been in the fridge for about 5 or 6 hours now. So and they're a little bit harder of a consistency, right? So these guys are still a little squishy and malleable. And then these guys have a little bit, they're firm. These are actually really firm. So I'm really happy about how they've settled. So you could make this platter, the morning of a party, or you're having friends come over, something like that, and then let it set in the fridge for at least 3 or 4 hours. If you want to do it really fast, put it in the freezer, just watch it. They might get really cold, but I don't see any harm in doing that. You can also You can put this whole little energy ball if you want to, like for smoothies. You can freeze these, and then that's kind of like your little sweetener for your smoothie. So you could drop like one or two into your smoothie as another option that I honestly just thought about right now. So yeah, that's the beauty of teaching and sharing because you get to create in the moment, right? So they're delicious. Let me please try. This is the most new one, and these are the older ones.
I like the harder
All right,
ones
she's going for the
personally.
hard. Yes, they're delicious. Well, I'm not going to say that for her. I think the is a good thing.
Really, really good.
Good. So
good for you.
Good for you.
Gives you energy.
And it's not like you don't want to eat like 15 of these in a sitting, right? Because a lot of sugar, right? So in moderation, they're a really beautiful little pickup in the middle of the day. Good for the family to kind of grab as a camping snack or a hiking snack or something like that. So they travel well when you have them in a little Tupperware container or a little safe container to travel with. But yeah, really versatile, really simple, really delicious, and full of quick energy, really. So yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you. I hope that you all have a good time making this, and let us know if you add anything different or try another spice or whatever. And people add cayenne to their chocolate, to their cacao, so you can always take it to that level and go a little bit spicier on side to have that sweet, spicy feeling. But yeah, just be creative, have fun, be you, and we love you and thank you for your support. And please follow us, like us, all that good stuff on the RaMa Holistic. And we have all these beautiful offerings with the cooking cooking demos, and then all of our essences and music, and all of our beautiful offerings are on our website. So thank you so much for your time and energy. We love you, and happy eating. Be well.